So I do apologise that this video is a bit late in proceedings for England versus Samoa, as it's this weekend, but better late than never, I suppose. So we're going to take a look at the Samoa squad for the Test series against England, and then we'll have a little talk about them. The Samoa squad includes Anthony Milford, Blaize Talagi, Deine Mariner, Francis Molo, Gordon Tong, Izack Tango, Jake Tango, Jarome Luai, Jazz Tevaga, Jeral Skelton, and Jeremiah Nanai, John Asiata, Josiah Pahulu, Junior Pauga, Keenan Palacia, Lazarus Varlepu, Luciano Leilua, Paul Roach, Ricky Leotelli, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Sean Bloor, Simi Sasagi, and Terrell May. I want to get the really big negative out of the way before I get onto some actual positive things. The only reason why I'm disappointed with this squad is not because of the players that are here, just to make that very clear. The players that are part of this squad definitely have a right to be there. They've had some good seasons and they have a right to be there. The disappointment that I have over this squad is the players that just aren't there. That's it. I'm not disappointed about anyone in the squad. I'm just disappointed about players that haven't been able to go for various reasons. Well done, Stephen Crichton. Congratulations, by the way. But yeah, no Suafalogo, no Utsukamanu or To'o, no Stephen Crichton, no Mori Talangi, Junior Barlow, Helam Luki or Spencer Leniu. These are players that were in the Pacific Championships last year, and I was really looking forward to seeing, but we're just not going to. And look, that's okay, because Samoa is still providing a really strong squad, but I want, as an Englishman, I want England to face the best team possible. Samoa's bringing a great squad, but I don't think they're bringing the best team they possibly can, which is fine. It might still be strong enough to beat England, and that's completely fine. But I just want to play the absolute best we can play whenever we do get these test matches. So in terms of the negatives, that's the main one. But to talk about this actual team, the go-to is obviously Jarome Luai. That is obvious. He is probably going to be the number 7. Samoa really lacked a clear number 7 last year. They had Dejan Assi and Stephen Crichton at 6 and 7. That just wasn't going to work. Assi had very limited experience for the Eels. He was either playing centre or at number 6. Never really took on the kicking game. If there was a kicking game, that was mainly Dylan Brown. So, yeah, Dejan Assi couldn't really provide that. Stephen Crichton, that was his first time, from what I recall, being in the halves. It did not look good. So Samoa, they need a clear plan. The positive thing from Jarome Luai is, for a good portion of this season, he's already won a premiership again, but for that same premiership winning team, he's had to play as the number 7 multiple times to replace Nathan Cleary. And it's either been Brad Schneider that stepped up, or there was another lad at number 6. I can't quite remember who it was, but Jarome Luai was taking on the number 7 role, and pretty well. He took on that responsibility, took on the kicking game, the organisation, still had his usual style, that quick step, going at teams, running at the line, but he did a pretty good job, and that's something that I think is expected of him going into the West Tigers. So I think his mindset has probably shifted a little bit, and that's exactly what Samoa need going into this. Need a good kicking game, good organisation, and a clear mind. Jarome Luai is prone to a meltdown sometimes. Sam Tompkins incident in the semi-final of the World Cup, but I think with him running the show, they've got a much better chance this year. Blaize Talagi is the number 6, I think. There's the potential for Anthony Milford, possibly even Roger Tuivasa-Sheck might take on that responsibility, but Blaize Talagi is currently rumoured to be the next number 6 at the Panthers next year, so maybe there's something that, obviously, Luai could actually teach him about that specific role in that system, with Luai moving on. Blaize Talagi gets some experience in this tournament as well, not the tournament, the test series, but Blaize Talagi, quick player, good step. Is he going to be able to offer what a typical number 6 can? I don't know. We'll have to see. But he's certainly an intelligent player. He's a quick player. He's young. He's hungry. So we'll see what he can provide. In the forwards, there are a few players that have kind of gone a little bit under the radar this season. 2 in particular, the Sean Bloor and Terrell May. Bloor for the Melbourne Storm has been incredibly reliable. Very, very reliable. You've had Katoa on the right edge. You've had Liero in the middle at 13 and Bloor on the left edge. Those 3 as a trio in the middle to the edges have been extremely reliable. Sean Bloor, of course, included in that. Jarome off the bench for the Roosters has been so important, either making those big carries through the middle as an impact sub, or even playing the 13 role at times. We can use him a little bit differently. Sometimes he's appeared on the edges here and there, but those two players have gone very much under the radar, I think, and I think can, whatever role you need them to play, can do it exceptionally well and offer a lot of value, whether coming off the bench or starting in any position. Then you've got players like Jeremiah Nanai, incredible season again with the Cowboys. John Asiata, great season again with the Leopards. So these are players that really hard-working, intelligent players that can offer a lot of power, a lot of pace, a lot of defensive reliability, a lot of intelligence. They can do a lot of hard work, a lot of graft through the middle. They're going to be massive in the middle for Samoa. You've got players like Izack Tago, who I'm really looking forward to seeing, actually, because we only saw him very briefly in the Rugby League World Cup. He picked up a pretty big injury. I think it was a shoulder injury in the first game against England. So we only saw him for maybe half an hour, something like that. And then that was him done for the tournament. So he could be a hell of a handful for Samoa, especially on the edges. He can take on Herbie Farnworth. He can take on Harry Newman. I think Izack Tago could be a really important piece to this Samoa team. Jeral Skelton, another one. He's had some good moments with the Bulldogs this season, but is he a kind of player that, we haven't seen too much of in the NRL, but is he the kind of player that could really have a standout series? Possibly. We know he can hit hard. We know he can move. He's got some good pace on him when he opens up. So is he somebody that's a bit under the radar that we could see take a massive step on an international stage? Hopefully. The most important thing for me in this Samoa team is just a kicking game. Because of how poor it was last year, it's just Jarome Luai needs to take on that kicking game. That's the most important thing for me. There's plenty of good pieces, strong players in the forwards, strong players in the backs that can work hard through the middle, that can be strong defensively, that can pose a lot of threat in attack. There's good quality everywhere. But the most important thing based on last season is the kicking game, and I think Jarome Luai can at least help with that, so that's a good start. But that's going to be it for this. Let me know your thoughts on this Samoa squad. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.